Hello, my name is Kelsey Cantrall, and I am the wife of Mr. Cantrall, the elementary principal here at BICE. We've only been here for, I think, 4 months, so we're relatively new, but we have loved our time here so far. And I have been asked by the school to share with you guys, I'm sure you've probably seen the flyer if you're logging on here, some tips and tricks for healthy eating, how to do it with your family during the pandemic. If you haven't seen the flyers, my background is in health and human performance. So nutrition, personal training, basically anything health is my passion. So if you don't know, I have 3 boys. The reason I looked over there is because one of them is sitting over there waiting to come on and help me later. They're ages 5, 10, and 13. So I have a preschooler, I have an elementary student, and then I have a middle schooler. So I have a nice little range of trying to feed different preferences, different amounts. So I am there. I understand it's hard. So I'm hoping I can give you guys some tips and tricks to, make this a little bit easier. So first of all, the thing that we always talk about, or at least I've heard since I was little, is eat your fruits and vegetables. I know I could talk about a lot of things, but I think that is the biggest challenge, at least for my family. I think for most people that I talk to, is getting enough fruits and vegetables in our diets. Not just the kids, but the parents too. So that's kind of what my focus is going to be on, how to get more fruits and vegetables in our diets. So we're going to start. How many fruits and vegetables are we supposed to eat daily? Does anybody know? Because I feel like that number is always changing. I don't know if it's just me. When I was a kid, I remember it was, I don't know, there was these pyramids, but then they turned them around, and then every time you check in, it's different. And I think it depends on the country you come from. So last week I checked, and the World Health Organization is now saying they have a campaign called 5 a day. 5 a day, fruits and vegetables, 5 portions per day is what they're saying. So I kind of thought that was on the lower end. I feel like I've often seen closer to 7, 9, even 13 to 15 for the more competitive athlete. But what they're doing, they've said, is they know it's on the lower end, that 5 a day, but they have done studies and research and have found that only about 10 to 11% of the population is even getting 5 per day. So they're sticking to 5, and they're hoping that we can try to reach that 5. If we can get more than that, awesome. But let's start with 5. So now we know 5 a day. Now, what in the world is a portion? Oftentimes, people are confused, like, do we weigh it? Is it an apple? I mean, how much are we talking? Half a watermelon? What are we talking about? So the easiest way to do that is to open the palm of your hand. A portion size basically can fit in the palm of your hand, is what they say. So my 5-year-old's portion sizes will be smaller than mine, which I think is probably a good idea. But the goal is to get, by the age of 10, to get them to the similar serving size as an adult. So 5 a day is hopefully the minimum, maybe more. The palm of your hand is the goal. And the other thing that's super, super important is variety and color. We don't really talk about that very much, but variety and color are just as important as it is the 5 a day, the quantity. Because, have you ever thought, why are blueberries so blue? Or why is spinach so green? So all of the different fruits and vegetables are made up of phytonutrients and phytochemicals that offer completely different things for our bodies to function and thrive. So like the green vegetables, they have potassium and folic acid, they have vitamin K, tons of antioxidants. So the red, lycopene and flavonoids. I wrote this down because there's some big words. Purples and blues, there's anthocyanins. So I mean, depending on the color and the variety, you're gonna get different things in your body. And the synergy of them together is awesome. So that's the goal. 5 a day, palm of your hand is a portion size. Variety and color is super important. So those are, if you take anything away, those are really good things to think about, at least as having goals with feeding your family. The other thing I recently found out, I thought was quite fascinating, is there's research coming out about the fact that you need 10 to 12 different exposures or experiences to a new food to learn to like it. Sometimes you'll like it. You'll try a strawberry and you're like, this is delicious. I'm going to eat these all the time. Your kids might jump on something right away. But 10 to 12 experiences are needed if your kid or yourself, if you don't like it at first. So oftentimes, if maybe it's not just me, I'm pretty sure a lot of kids, they'll try, for instance, green beans, and they're like, no, thanks, I'm done. And as parents, it's easy to go, okay, I'm just not going to provide green beans on these guys' plates anymore because they don't like them. But the 10 to 12 different experiences thing is something that we need to focus on. I'm talking 10 to 12 different meals, or 10 to 12 different recipes or ways to fix things, or even environments you're providing them in. Not 10 to 12 different bites. Please don't force that on a kid. That's not going to work. I promise you, I've tried that before when they were little. But even last night at dinner, my oldest was munching on green beans, and I remember thinking all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, you like green beans? And he was kind of like, yeah, I guess I do. He did not like green beans, not even a few months ago. But I focus on that 10 to 12 different exposures to a food, and I'm not like forcing it down, but just try it. I'll try it in a different meal, mix it in, and it works. I've seen it in all three of my boys several different times. So we have the 5 a day. We have the palm of the hand is the portion size. We have variety and color are super important, and then the 10 to 12 different experiences. Those are kind of the main guidelines to go by. So people are asking, how in the world do you get fruits and vegetables in your diet? First of all, I am not perfect. Please don't think our family knows what they're doing. Just because I know doesn't mean I have it down, okay? So I think the easy things are best, especially when you're really busy. So we often do smoothies in the mornings. My 5-year-old makes them with me every morning. It's a routine. I brought a heavy-duty blender from the US with me. It's like my favorite thing. You can throw anything in it, and it will blend it up into a very smooth liquid. So we throw in, whatever's in the fridge. We do like water and bananas and orange juice. We do fresh ginger and lime juice because my kids like a little twang to it. Carrots and greens, so we do kale or spinach. Chia seeds, I'm talking, that thing is stuffed, and we top it with like frozen pineapple or frozen mango or frozen dragon fruit or a mix of that stuff. The dragon fruit color changes it from a gross green to a friendly pink, so maybe that might be a good option for you. But they're actually good. My boys love it. My boys chug them down every morning. I send my husband to school every morning. If you're a staff here, you've probably seen him with his little blender cup full of his breakfast, and that's what we have, super quick. And if anything, if we don't have any more fruits and vegetables that day, at least I know that's down the chute. So that's my first thing. We do a lot of granola, things that I can make in big batches that you can the kids can get on their own. Even my 5-year-old gets his own granola. A recipe I'm going to share with you a little bit later is something that you can take on the go too. We do a lot of fruits and vegetables. I try to do them with every meal. I know it's not always easy, but on the side, some carrot sticks or some hummus with some things. I'm not trying to say I make all the things. Please don't put me on this little pedestal. But these are some options. Green salads, make them colorful. If we order out a pizza, I usually provide a salad with them too. And so they know they'll have a pizza and the salad. I don't know, it just gives me a little more peace of mind. So those are my little things. Another couple pieces of advice. Texture is super important with vegetables. Kids do not like mushy. I don't like mushy either. Maybe it's just me. But broccoli, green beans, don't overcook them, because not only are you going to get that texture that a kid's not going to want to eat, but you're going to kill all the nutrients in it. So generally speaking, if you can get raw or crunchy, not only is it more palatable, but the nutrients are in there. Steaming is probably second best. Boiling is probably on the farther end. I'm not saying, if you are doing soup, awesome. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just telling you, the preferences. Let's see, stir fries, things like that. Just try to put fruits and vegetables, maybe not fruit, some fruit in stir fries could work, but mostly vegetables in your stir fries, in your soups, all that. So I am going to bring my assistant on to help me make a snack. Ironically, it does not have fruits and vegetables in it, which is kind of funny, but it is something that's full of protein and full of whole foods, and my kids think they're getting a snack. And Let's see, is he turned on? Yes. This is my youngest. You want to say your name?
I'm Simon.
His name is Simon. What grade are you in?
Preschool.
Preschool 4. So he loves helping me in the mornings. He loves helping me with the smoothies. Oftentimes, he will make a bigger mess than be helpful, but it's good for patience testing for mom, right? So we are going to put, hopefully, the recipe up on the screen. It's a super awesome recipe because you can totally change what the ingredients are based on what you have, based on your preferences. So maybe your kids don't like coconut. You can switch it out for some ground up nuts, or maybe just put more oatmeal in. Chocolate peanut butter protein bites. So, Simon, we have a cup of oats. You want to put that in there? Pour that in. He's my pourer. I'm going to tell you now that it's all not going to end up in the bowl. Am I right, Simon?
No.
Right. Okay, so now, we're going to do coconut flakes. So things like this you can sneak in. So my kids don't really like coconut, but they don't really taste coconut very much in this. Or like the granola I make, they don't really like certain nuts, but when I grind them up and mix them up in the granola, they'll eat them. So you can kind of be sneaky with things. That's just my thing. All right, so now we do in peanut butter. Simon's favorite, right, Simon?
I always.
You love peanut butter, right?
Sometimes get scoops.
You do get scoops of peanut butter. You're right. Actually, you know what? We're going to do the dry ingredients first.
Oh.
It doesn't really matter, but it's easiest for me. So we're going to do flaxseed meal. Now, you guys, I've found all of this here in this country. So don't think I brought any of it from the U.S. Okay, dump it in. I don't think that tastes very good. How'd that taste? That's just flaxseed meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it's cocoa powder.
No, this is cocoa powder. So now we have the cocoa powder. This is the part that he thinks he's having like a treat. It tastes really good. 1/4 cup of cocoa powder.
I take it full, but I don't like the powder kind.
Yeah, it's unsweetened. That's why. It's not the best when it's by itself, but when it's mixed together with other things, it's delicious, right? Okay, can you get the chia seeds out? Chia. We put these in our smoothies every day, don't we, Simon? Yes. Okay, so let's do 1. I need you to start stirring. Can you do that? Please don't try to make the biggest mess possible.
Okay.
But if you do, I will forgive you. Okay, so that's all the dry ingredients. We want to try to mix all the dry ingredients together. And then we have vanilla, peanut butter, and honey. So now if it's too dry, you add more liquids. If it's too wet, you add more solids, right? And then, if it's not sweet enough for your preferences, add more honey. That's what I love about this recipe is you can kind of really mix and match what's going on. Okay, so try to get all those little lumps, okay? Okay, peanut butter. Watch out, buddy.
I'm doing that.
Nah, I'll do it, and then you can lick the bowl. How about that?
Not lick it.
Well, you do all the time.
But not anymore.
Okay, peanut butter, and then a little bit of vanilla. I'm just gonna do it. I think it says a teaspoon. I just do a little bit. Eyeball it. Okay, and then honey. I think it says 1/4 cup of honey, and I feel like this is about 1/4 cup, so we're gonna hopefully.
Can you get this out?
Yeah, we're gonna just dump. Here, hold that right there. Just keep it right there. Keep it there until it's all gone. Can you do that?
Yes.
You might be there a while. All right, so now I'm gonna start mixing. All right, so now the messy process. I often double the recipe just because it does get messy, but that's why my kids like it, or helping me make it, is because they like making a mess. Right, Simon?
Yeah.
And you have to get all of it, the powders combined with the peanut butter and the honey. I think that's probably good, buddy. That's probably good. And once it gets in a good texture, okay, Bubba, that's when you form it into the ball shape, and that's the part that's super messy. So I brought water. You can even add a little bit of water if it gets, if it's not wet enough. But you just keep mixing and mixing. And then once you are done, with this part, you roll it and you put them in the fridge just to maintain that ball texture. And then I think they probably can last for like a week, but guess what? How long do they last in our family? Like 3 days? My kids pop them like crazy. They honestly taste super good. So I'm gonna keep mixing. Now, while we're mixing, if there's any Q&A time, I think this would be a good time because it might take me a little while. If there are any questions that you have, since this is a fun little live feed. Oh, you're gonna lick the honey bottle. Great idea. Anybody have any questions? I don't even know where to look if there were questions. This is a good workout. I think at this point, you can start making the balls, Simon. Okay, put the honey bottle down. Now, one thing I should say is, as far as the variety goes, a good way to try to work on getting variety in your family, in your household, is kind of make it a game with your family, I guess you would say. Like with our family, we lived in Peru before this place, and there's a lot of open street markets and stuff we'd go to, and we would go in. A lot of weird fruits and vegetables here that you wouldn't see in the United States, same as in Peru. And we'd go in and we'd be like, okay, our goal is to find a fruit or vegetable that we've never seen before or we haven't tried in forever, and then we're going to buy it, and then we might have to Google it to figure out what in the world it is, and then try it together and do it like a family thing. That was fun, and we tried some weird stuff, and it was good, but we would never have touched it before if we hadn't done this game. That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's
so pretty, right?
So flat.
Right.
Can I do it?
Yeah. Here. Are there any questions?
Okay.
So just roll it like a ball. You know, like Play-Doh? Yeah, Play-Doh. Okay. Oh, okay, I can't read it. Oh, there it is. Picky eaters. Any advice on how to combat the picky eaters in the house? I know. It's hard. Are you a picky eater, Simon?
No.
Not really. You can have your days, right? Yes. Okay. So, and it's hard with picky eaters are hard because when you have multiple kids, especially, you're like, okay, this guy likes tomatoes, but this one doesn't like cucumbers, and this one doesn't, and it's really hard to keep track of. So one thing that we do in our household is called, what's it called? Do you remember what name of it, Simon, that we do at the dinner table about food? You want to say it? No. It's called the 3-bite rule. We do the 3-bite rule at our dinner table. So maybe you claim you don't like it. I still ask that you try 3 bites of it. That's all I ask. If after those 3 bites you guys still don't like it, you can pick it out, and I thank you for trying. That's basically all we say. And you know what I'm trying to do is get to that 10 to 12 different exposures thing, and it's worked in our family. In fact, last week, Ezra, my middle child, said he likes mushrooms. He never liked mushrooms until last week. So, and it would have been easier just not to prepare food that had mushrooms in it, but you know what? Maybe it's because I'm stubborn, but it works. So we do the 3-bite rule, and actually we learned that from, in the United States, there's this, I'm sure if you have little kids, you've heard of Pete the Cat. There's a series on TV in the United States, right, Simon? We saw a few years ago, there was a show, and that was the theme. It was like picky eaters, and they had this song that was called the 3-bite rule, and it was basically, give it a chance. And kids love like little songs, maybe it's just mine, but you can kind of bust out like, Pete the Cat, a 3-bite rule. And when they were kids, we're like, oh yeah, 3-bite rule. It's like cooler when it comes from a cartoon than it comes from a parent. So you could probably YouTube that. Pete the Cat, 3-bite rule. There's also another one, a Daniel Tiger one that was like, be a vegetable taster or something on YouTube. So we had a couple different songs that when they were younger, you don't know until you try it, basically is the theme. So we do a 3-bite rule, and we try to work on that 10 to 12 different exposures. What are some of the ways you get fruits and vegetables into your kids during snack time? All mine want are crackers. Right. Yes. Yeah, so I guess I did tell you what we do for meals. I think a good idea is to have, for us, we always have the fruit accessible to the kid. Like Simon, if he's hungry, they'll tell you. If they tell me I'm hungry, the first thing I'll say is go get a fruit. We go through a ton of fruit. They know how to cut them up themselves. Even Simon has been known to yield sharp knives. We're not really condoning that. It's not something that you recommend. But fruits or vegetables that are pre-cut, when they come, it's a little different now, but when they come home from school, oftentimes they're starving, right? So to have something ready for them when they get home would be optimal. When my kids were younger, we would do like a muffin tin. And in each of the holes, I'd fill it with different things, like different cut up fruit, cut up vegetables, dried fruit like raisins or pretzels or I don't know, all sorts of stuff. And it was more fun for them to have, these little muffin tin holes to choose from. Another thing kids will tell you.
I'm done doing this.
You done doing this? You're gonna leave? Do you have to stay? Okay. Another thing we would do is like right before dinner, if my kids are like, I'm hungry, Mom. That's the cue to get food in their bellies, right? So I'll say, okay, while I'm preparing food, I'm going to put out some fruits or vegetables. And I often put the same stuff as I would for snack time. And they're gonna eat it. They're hungry. So if you put out some food while you're making your food and just say, just eat this until dinner. Worst case scenario is they will be full of fruits and vegetables before dinner. They might not eat as much dinner, but they'll still have good food in their belly. So it's all part of the game. And he's going to lick the honey bottle again. I think that is it. If there are any more questions, Simon, would you like to try one of, not the honey, you want to try one of these? Here, let's cheers. Here, you hold yours, and I'll hold mine, and we'll cheers. You're going to do the honey? Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us. Oh, my word, Simon. You're so funny. Here. That's good. Good, right?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I'm making a mess.
I want a nap.
You want another one?